Hi, everybody. Here today on Black Society's Healing Hotspot. I'm your host, Najee Talley, and today we have a guest.
My name is Lee. Follow me on Instagram at Leave the Dawn.
And today's topic, we're going to be talking about Black men in college. So, what would you like to elaborate when you think of Black men in college?
Black men in college, HBCU, of course. But over my college experience, now that I just came in college 2 months ago, because I came in the summer for the I forgot what it was called, for the summer scholarship, summer college program. And we had a group of men in color, which is really nice for straight men of color, because they're predominantly very household on straight men, it's predominantly straight men and men of color, and which is something, it's a good thing to have that for men of color, of course, it's always good to have that for them. But I dropped out of men of color because I just felt like it wasn't a place for me.
There's nothing guaranteed for the LGBT community.
It wasn't welcoming. I felt like it wasn't welcoming for me. Cause I have I have a feminine voice, and it was just a weird experience. It was something that was different from speaking of the men of color. So I dropped the class, but they ended up giving me a scholarship. So I'm not mad. Get the money. Didn't do no work there. Didn't get the money though.
So have you found anything any other type of classes or groups that you find comfortable for you on campus?
No, not really, because I haven't put myself out there. But it's it's hard for me to put myself out there due to the fact that I am part of a part of the LGBTQ community. So it is sometimes that I do get discouraged.
And have you made any more friends?
I have an ass I have actually have an ass of friends. I literally have a lot of friends now that I think about it. And everyone calls me on campus Mr. VCU because when I'm at a place I know people there because I'm such a welcoming person. I'll talk to you it never gave not speaking.
And with this friend group, do you get a little bit worried with having such a big friend group that some of them are agreeing with you or understand you as a person, or they just there for the attention?
So I have my friend group, my main friend group, this is my main friend group, and then I have my other friends that I associate myself with. But with the main friend group, it's not a question if they're with me or not. I know my main friend group is my
You're out of die.
Yeah, those people I really mess with. I don't have to question it, so it's just it's a fun experience.
Would you say that do you regret coming to a PWI, or do you wish that you was at an HBCU? Because that's a big question. Yeah, I was it's always a big question that people get asked.
Actually, I love my little PWI. Actually, it's actually, now that I think about it, it's my little HBCU. Even though I go to a PWI, I predominantly hang out with black people. But in HBCU, it's black people, it's African Americans. But then because I came from Brunswick, which is a small county full of African Americans. But then here at VCU, you got the Ghanaian, you got the Haitians, you got Indians, you got all those. It's different qualities to it. And my friend, she's South Sudan, and she would never let us forget she's South Sudan.
VCU, I'll definitely say, is diverse, which is a lot of people try to emphasize that about VCU. It's it's not characterized as just a PWI, but it's very diverse. Yeah. But I do personally think that maybe there should be more emphasis with people of color and whatnot. Because certain groups, I'm in Black Minds Matter. I love that group so much.
What is that group?
It's a group for basically talking about the psychological aspects of Black people, people of color. And I joined that group this semester, and seeing everybody come together, it says, it forms that many HBCU feeling. So I like my PWI because you got many HBCU.
VCU, but it's just it's I don't know, I feel well, from my point of view, because everybody's point of view is different. But since I've been here, I've only connected, not only connected, but it feels I surround myself black people just gravitate towards each other at the PWI, and it's like we all have like this special bond with each other. That makes sense. Like we all have like a foundation of like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because we all just gravitated towards each other.
Yeah, and then certain like groups like the Black Student Union, they're always doing something
like
to get the black people connected, which I love so much because it's something needed.
Yeah, because when you go to like classes, and since I'm a double major, so like with me being like computer science and pre-nursing, it's like what majority of my classes is like mostly like predominantly like white or predominantly like Hispanic. So when we do have like, like when we do form these groups, it is like always really good.
Yeah, and it's even like when you dig deeper into like research and whatnot, it's kind of weird too because you'll look at the demographics of everything and you realize, dang, like 26, people like Caucasians in the class, and it's only 19 black people or people of color.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, dang. We really like not that big, we gotta.
It's different. It really is different coming from like a majority black school. Like most of my classmates were black, so it's just like coming here to a PWI. It's different.
True. And how do your parents and family feel about you like coming here?
Actually, my parents really didn't care as long as I went to college. Like they didn't care at all as long as I went to college. But I feel like personally, would I like out of my school choices that I did get into, would I choose a HBCU over VCU? Like now that I have my experience at VCU?
You wouldn't?
No.
That's a good question. I'm shocked at that answer, low key.
I wouldn't because I feel like everything's happens for a reason, and like VCU kind of just like it gravitates towards me. It's not something that like, how like you have the expectations of like, not expectations, but you just have like, you try to like force something. It's like anybody that's picking out of college now, definitely seniors, I feel like whatever speaks to you, and if it doesn't speak to the crowd, then that's okay. And that's okay for like, I have friends to go to another one.
True, especially with homecoming, because homecomings are going on right now, and it's like all I see is HBCUs and whatnot. And I'm like, dang, I kind of want like, the PWIs or like whatnot to step up. But for so many years, it's more like the HBCUs didn't even get acknowledgement. So it's like, I want them to get acknowledgement, but also kind of boost ourselves up a little bit. Or at least the black people on the campus to, show off a little bit.
True. I just look at it in a sense like, I don't know, because we don't have regular homecoming here. That's the thing. Our homecoming is in February. So like seeing all the different homecomings, it is such like it's kind of like, oh man, like damn, like I missed out. But I feel like it's all about what you want to do in life. That's another thing that plays a role in it. Because since I'm going to the healthcare field, VCU is known for it. Like so if I get a degree in like healthcare, VCU like has a name behind it. And like another thing that we should talk about is like the different HBCUs that don't have like nursing. Like Virginia State, they don't have nursing. So like if you're going to be a nurse at Virginia State, you have to get your, I think it's like you got to get your RN or something. And like you take classes there, which is that's a lot. Like that's honestly a lot. So like it's like
they ain't got that much resources like to boost compared to the like PWIs. I got it.
So it's kind of like hard.
Yeah, I felt that. And, I don't know. I kind of did get a little discouraged seeing all the homecomings and whatnot because, celebrities go there. But at the same time, I do agree with your statement, though, because we're doing this for a reason. Like, like with psychology, it's like, when I was applying to colleges, I thought about HBCUs. But I was like, am I gonna be distracted by like all the parties and all the like activities, the sororities, fraternities? I feel like, not saying it's a distraction to others because it may be just something they want to experience, but I know personally with me, I need to be on the grind. I can have my fun, but I don't want it to be like 24/7. Like, I need to get focused at some point.
Yeah, and it's also here, like, I think that's just like all like the college experience, not just like at single out like HBCUs, but I think that's like the college experience in a whole. Because why the fuck are we having a party on a Thursday? It's a Thursday, guys. It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday. But I feel like with HBCUs, definitely the ones in like Virginia-based HBCUs, a lot of them don't offer as much as a PWI when it comes down to certain things.
True. Especially with, I don't know for sure because I haven't done 100% and that's not really my field, but like, would you say that HBCUs and PWIs, which one would provide more for the LGBTQ community?
I feel like, no, I'm not going to say I feel like. I feel like a PWI, like VCU. Mm-hmm. Would VCU even consider a PWI?
I guess they're trying to make everything more diversified because of I think there was a law or something that came out. Mm-hmm. So everything can't be predominantly one thing, it has to be diversified, but something like that.
So like I feel like because the black community as a whole, like with LGBTQ, is like it does have its own like I'm gonna say ick, that's the proper word. Ick. Because it's just like one, like it's just like in the black community just as a whole, it's just like they have problems with gay people. And it's like it's always like, can I cuss on you?
Yeah. Well, you
But like they have this, I don't know, it's like this hate against like trans people, gay people, and it's just like we're literally like the same, like we're like people at the end of the day. And like with the black community, it is such like a problem being a part of the LGBT community, if that makes sense. So I feel like a HBCU won't be as welcoming to gay people as a PWI.
I got it. And with like, I don't know, because I know VCU campus, there are some people that like have signs and they walk around on campus and they can, put a lot of hate towards things or just be closed-minded with a lot of topics. So I know that can sometimes be a bother if you're on campus. I don't know if you've experienced it, but like,
I feel like me personally, what's the saying? What another person eat is not gonna make food. It's not gonna make food. So I feel like I have tough skin. I have really tough skin. So with that being said, like with me having like really tough skin, it's kind of like it's kind of like okay. But I do feel as if like the niggas here, I realize like my black male friends, like the niggas here are so much mature and different from the niggas back home. So like I have a lot of like black male friends, which they're like really like welcoming and like really like friendly and like really nice. Like they're genuinely like good people, and they like to be around you. So I feel like I think here I can't speak for anywhere else, but like here, like when it comes down to like making friends and such like that, it's kind of like with other black males that are not part of the community, it's more welcome. I feel more welcome here than anywhere else.
I like that. I'm so glad that you get that experience here, because I know earlier, like I think the last time we talked, you was kind of like trying to figure out what schools and whatnot.
Yeah, so because I had got a full ride to Tech, ended up getting a full ride to Tech, didn't go. And then I had NCCU. What else did I get? NCCU. I'm trying to remember. I got into Howard, A&T. Where else did I get into? But I had like loads of options. I was just like, I don't know where I want to go. I don't know what I want to like. At that point in time, I was like, I didn't know like what I wanted to do. And like it was kind of like hard trying to like figure out where I wanted to go, because it's like this is where I'm gonna be at for like the next 2 to 3 years. So it was kind of like hard, and like this is where all my money's gonna go to too.
I like the money right now, but what do you like? What made you, try your major? Like, what made you want to go for the major that you have? You said it's like healthcare.
It's nursing and computer science.
Nursing and computer science. Now, what made you want to do a double major in that? Because it's not like shit already.
A lot of people say that, but I feel like if you like something, because this is how I knew I wanted to go into nursing. I always knew like I love taking care of people. Like that was just my thing. I knew that with my papa, like when I took care of him, like I just always knew like that's something that I would do personally. Like that was my jam. So I knew like then and there, like I was going to healthcare. But there's a difference between knowing you want to go into the healthcare field and then you put to the test you want to put into the healthcare field. So this July, I had got a job. Not gonna say where, but I had got a job. And let me tell you something. If you're thinking about going to the healthcare field, and you're saying in your mind like, I'm not gonna wipe no ass. Like I'm not wiping no type of ass. Like I'm not wiping nobody's ass. That shit going out the window.
Get prepared.
Get prepared. If you go into this mindset of, oh, well, I'm not doing this, it's just like, it doesn't work like that. And it really did put me to the test. Working at a hospital, 40 hours a week, while still being a full-time student. It really did put my mental to the test, and it did stress me out. But I do say, because I ended up quitting this job, and I wish I didn't quit this job because I felt like it would have helped me build my character more, and it would have helped me grow more. But the only thing that I do say is working at 40 hours is a lot on like the body. Definitely when you're sitting in the hospital with patients, like I had a man die on me. Well, it's kind of not funny, but it's kind of like it's like
you made humor out of the situation.
Because I feel like another thing that we don't talk about is like in the healthcare field, like just working, it's like this is like a really, really like dark field that no one, like you never hear anyone talk about how dark working at a hospital is, and it's just like it's really like sad. So I feel like it's really like it's something that has to grow. Because you can say you want to work in the healthcare field, but when you're put to the test, it does mess with your mental.
And that's another thing about your mental. Another thing about your mental, like were you able to cope with the situation that happened while being in being in that hospital? Like were you able to take care of your mental health as you should?
Yes and no. Because at the time, like I was working from, so it was 8 at night to 8 in the morning. So then I had class at 9 to like 11 something, break, and then I had another class at 2, and then I got out at like 3 or 4, somewhere around there time. I think it was somewhere around that time actually. I think so. But like during those like time periods, it was like a lot to like say, well, today I need a break, because we were always doing something Monday through Friday. So like these are fast track classes, so like I have to study, I have to do 7:30, so it's just like you forget. I know one time I forgot to eat, like I forgot to eat for a whole day. So it is like a lot working and trying to do school and trying to like work in a hospital, especially because like when your patient dies on you, it's like, damn, like what did I do? Like what could I do to like prevent them working? Like what, not working, but like prevent them from like dying, or like did I do something that I did not play my part right, or like you come up with like the different questions, like because you don't want another patient to go through that. So like you do run like the game plan in your head like back to back, but it's really like nothing that I do.
So have you worked on your mental now?
Yeah, like, now I have, like to the point where I'm stronger now, but it's still like not disheartening. It's like it's still upsetting.
It is. Because especially like my mother is in the healthcare field. She's the phlebotomist, so she got to do the blood work and whatnot. And she's told me lots of stories that she had where she had to get blood off of like people that were deceased. And it's just crazy because my mom, I noticed her mental was declining because for one, you're taking care of 2 young children. You're, having to do stuff like that in the healthcare industry, and then other problems on top of that. So I definitely give you props for getting through this summer, and now, working on your mental.
Yes.
Because you definitely deserve to make sure that you're okay at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I feel like, just remember, if there's any other nursing students listening to this, just remember that if you don't get into the nursing program for VCU this year, well, next semester, it is genuinely okay. Don't think of yourself as a failure. Don't be like, well, this and the third, I should have did this. I could have did this. Because they only accept 150 students to the nursing program here. They only take 150 VCU students, which is kind of fucked up because they accept a lot of pre-nursing students. And it is kind of messed up that we have to fight for a spot. It's because this is if somebody wants to learn something, we shouldn't have to fight for it. It should be something that's given. But I understand the value of fighting for a spot. So any nursing student or pre-nursing student that's out here listening to this, it is okay if you don't get accepted. Don't try to be well, okay, let me switch my major. Or, you can switch your major, but if you really want to go into the nursing field and nursing is something that you really want to do, there's always different ways to get into the nursing program at VCU. You can end up going to the community college. I think it's Bright Point, Southside, and I think it's John Tyler. Mm-hmm. John Tyler. If you take if you take their nursing program and get your associates in nursing, you have a guaranteed spot in VCU program.
Dropping key points.
So you can keep working towards it if you live in the Richmond area. You can keep working towards it if that's something you really want to be. And you become an RN too. So you are already through their program, through the community colleges program, you become a nurse, a registered RN. So I feel if that's something that you really want to do, that is the way to go if you don't get to the next program. That's my backup on it.
I love to hear it. Thanks for dropping gems for all the nursing students. I can't relate. I hear so many stories about nursing students, and it's just I give y'all props, okay? Because it could not be me. I'll just be the therapist you come to see after everything, or the therapist you see for other things. Because,
no, seriously. But I don't know. I feel it is a lot of work, but I think it's a lot of work if you see it as work. If you have just a general this is something I'm interested in, and this is something that okay, well, it does get a little bit irritating, but it does pushes my limit a little bit. It does it does mess with my medulla a little bit. It's okay, but I think if you're just looking at it as, oh well, I'm just here to make money, or I'm just here to make a bag off of it,
you can't go into any field like that if it's really working with people, because it's people. You can't take their lives as a joke. Rather, it's
because you're taking advantage of someone.
Yeah,
at this point. So I feel if you're going into this field, you have to have a heart for it, because it does get to a point. It does as I was working at the hospital, it does get disheartening sometimes. It does get hard, and it does question a lot. But I would say I wish I would have had more confidence in the summer in myself, and I wish I just had a support system. And I feel at that time I didn't have the support from myself or the support from others, so it was kind of hard to keep going.
And you got all that now. Okay. I'm so glad that you got through this, because we didn't really talk over the summer. So it's to hear all this now. I'm wow.
I actually had a busy summer, actually.
I bet you did. I was in school. That's a lot.
Really busy.
That's a lot. But is there anything else you want to add or say to the community?
Let's talk about that.
What else you want to talk about?
Actually, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But
we'll do a part two.
We'll do a part two. But I would say, if you're a part of the community making friends, I would say that a lot of people are going to like you. And just because people like you does not mean that they're your friend and like you should be around them. Because you end up circling around yourself with like people you think are good people, but they're really not. They're not like honest to their character. So I would say like don't be so ready to be like, oh, let's be friends, let's hang out every day. Like I think you need to see a person for like who they are truly first before you let them into your circle. Because then things will end up being messy. You don't want that. I went through that. That's some shit you don't want to go through at all. Like I promise you. And people will love. Like honestly, I would say here at HBCU, people would love you for your true character, and like you would get notarized just for like being true to who you
Yeah.
are.
But that's all for now, everybody. We're gonna do a part 2 because we got some more tea and more stuff to talk about and how it correlates with mental health. But thanks again for coming, and we love you all, and we'll see y'all later.